first thing we're going to do is dump your pre-mixed dry ingredients into your bowl. Give them a little stir so that they're nicely combined. We're going to put this to the side. We're going to take some water. Thank you. Pour it in our bowl. We're going to take some yeast. A little honey. The nice thing about the honey is that the yeast eats up all the carbs. Let that yeast kind of come to life, and poof, through the magic of TV, in 5 minutes this will be ready. We're going to put in a couple of eggs. We're going to put in a couple of eggs. 1 egg, 2 eggs, whisk them around. And now you're going to take dry and wet ingredients and combine them. We're going to take our butter, put it in with our dry ingredients. What we're going to do first though is take out a little bit of the dry ingredient just so that when we shape the dough, it doesn't stick to our countertop. We'll just use a little to keep it from sticking. Now we're going to dump this all together. Using a wooden spoon, we'll give it a good stir until everything is nice and combined. Want to use softened butter when you do this, so it'll incorporate nice and easy. Stir it until your eggs are incorporated and you don't see them. And then you take this, put it on your work surface. Now you're going to knead your dough. This is the fun part. You're going to take your bread, your dough, and flatten in front of you. You're going to pull it towards you, press out. Pull it towards you, and press out. Now, right now, it's a sticky mess. But as you do this, you're going to develop the gluten, which is going to give the bread the structure. So you're mixing it as well as kneading it right now. So you're just trying to get it all to come together, all be mixed, develop the gluten. It is a little sticky. Don't be afraid of it. A lot of people get freaked out about bread. There's no need to be. It's incredibly forgiving. You can honestly screw bread up pretty bad and it still come out to be a nice loaf of bread. So keep doing this. Bring it towards yourself, fold it over, push it around, fold it forward. If you don't like the stickiness, get yourself a bench scraper. Throw it down on itself. This also develops the gluten. Throw it around, beat it up a little bit. Thinking of that special someone. And it's still a little wet, so we're going to keep on going. Bringing it in on itself. And you're generally going to need to knead your dough for about 5 minutes. That develops the gluten enough. Just because it's still wet doesn't mean that the gluten hasn't formed. There are different hydrations in doughs. Okay. Now we're just gonna take that, roll it into a nice soft ball, and we're gonna let that sit for about half an hour, let it relax, and then we will roll it into a beautiful loaf. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna sprinkle a little of our reserved mix. This is just gonna keep the bread from sticking. Okay, take your bread and put it down here. It's still a little sticky. That's okay. Get a little flour on your hands. You're gonna flatten it out. And we're gonna need a little bit more. Okay. into a nice little rectangle, okay? Then you're gonna roll it up like a jelly roll. It's not sticking anywhere. Now, you're gonna take these little pieces, kind of push them in. You're making a little house. Then you just start to roll. And you roll, you bring the sides in a little bit. And you roll, and you roll, and you roll. And you have bread. Roll it up a little bit so it looks nice. That's it. Now you're going to cover that for a half hour, let it rise into the oven. Instant bread. Well, not instant, but definitely bread. Okay, so now we're ready to bake our bread. And you don't have to do this, but it makes the crust look really pretty and shiny. We're going to use an egg wash. Egg, please. Egg wash, please. Okay, wash it up. Give it a nice, pretty shine. Now for the piece de resistance, scalpel. Just slash the bread. It's going to open it up and let it rise real pretty. Now we're going to pop it in the oven at 400 degrees for about half an hour. You will have bread. Alrighty. Now we're just going to pop this in the oven, 400 degrees, and let it cook for about half an hour. You can tell when bread is done, because when you pick it up carefully with mitts and tap it on the bottom, it'll sound hollow. Or if you have a food thermometer, about 200 degrees. So let's do it. Okay, my timer just went off. What we're looking for is golden brown and delicious, internal temperature of 200 degrees, and a hollow sound when you tap the back of it. So putting in the thermometer, 201 degrees, so perfect. Flip this over. Close that up. I don't know if you can hear it. Got a nice hollow thud. Okay. Beautiful. And then you're going to put it on a rack and let it cool. All right. You're going to want to cut into this because it smells amazing, but don't. Give yourself a half hour, even an hour before you cut into it. You'll have a much nicer crumb, and then it will be just amazing. So, got something to look forward to.